Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're talking about a brand new SPAC stock, one that we haven't talked about on the channel before. The merger was only announced yesterday, which means that this is sort of hot off the press. There's only a few people talking about it at the moment, so I thought I'd bring you guys a video just in case you wanted to do some further research and jump in on it before the spike in share price. So the SPAC that we're talking about today is ticker symbol BFT, and they are Foley Trasimene Acquisition Corporation, and they have announced that they're due to merge with Paysafe. And Paysafe are a leading provider in global payments, and they focus on digital commerce and iGaming. The announcement of this merger only happened yesterday, so this news is pretty fresh. So there's not many people talking about it yet, but I expect that to change, and I expect more people to find out about this SPAC, find out about this merger, and look to invest and look to do more research in this company, because we'll go through now the investor's presentation. There are a lot of positive things in this investor presentation that I like. So at the end of the video, I'll be talking about whether it's something I'm going to invest in. So let's take a look. So if we look at the share price first for BFT, so yesterday it was up around 12%, and I think it finished the day on $11.95. After hours, it then rose another 6%, I believe. So depending on what happens pre-market on Tuesday, it depends on obviously where it will then open up for the majority of retail investors to then start investing in them. So if this stays under 13, I think it could be potentially a good deal, but we'll have to see what happens pre-market on Tuesday morning. But you can see the announcement of the merger has pushed the share price up yesterday, and as more and more people find out about it, I do expect this to continue. So if we just talk a little bit more about the details of the merger. So the transaction value of Paysafe, once the merger takes place, it's reporting it to be around a $9 billion merger once it's taken place. So this merger includes a $2 billion PIPE investment, as well as $500 million investment from Fidelity National, and a $350 million investment from Cannae Holdings. And once the merger takes place, and we'll talk about the management team in a little bit during the investor presentation, Bill Foley will become the chairman of the board of directors, and Paysafe CEO Philip McHugh will continue leading the combined company. So a $9 billion market value of a newly IPO'd company is quite high, especially when we're looking at some of the other SPACs that we're looking at, and they're sort of looking at around a $2 billion valuation once they merge. A $9 billion may be quite high, but we'll talk about it in a minute when you compare it to some of their competitors like Square and PayPal. It doesn't seem too bad at the moment. So let's take a look into the investor presentation, because there are a lot of positive figures in here, which I think you'll be quite impressed with. So let's take a look at the finances of Paysafe and what they're currently reporting. So you can see it's split into three different sections here. So you've got Paysafe Digital Wallet, Paysafe eCash, and Paysafe Integrated Processing. So you can see combined overall, if you have a look at the volume, the amount of transactions that have used Paysafe as part of payments is $103 billion. Their take rate is around 1.5% of this, and you can see their organic revenue, so their revenue is $1.5 billion, just over $1.5 billion, and that gives them a gross profit of $961 million, which is 63% gross profit margin. So one thing that I have said before, and one of the reasons why I liked APXT in particular, I've invested heavily in them, is because they have solid fundamentals now, and we don't invest in the hype, we invest in the fundamentals. If the hype comes, fantastic. If not, we're still happy with our investment. And it's the same here with Paysafe. You see Paysafe at the moment, they're a profitable company at the moment, seeing really good year-on-year revenue growth, and yeah, it's something that they can build on it moving forward into the future. So we'll take a look at that now. So as you can see here, they're the global leader in iGaming, so they help the processes of payments during gaming sessions. So you can see here in 1999 they launched in Europe and the rest of the world, and you can see they've seen from 2020 to 2025 what they're projected to see within that sector and within that market in Europe and the rest of the world. It's around a 12% compound annual growth rate. In Canada, they launched their iGaming in 2010. 100% of Canada's iGaming coverage deployed Paysafe Market Playbook after their launch in 2010, which is crazy. And you can see there their estimated compound annual growth rate from now, which is 1.2 billion in Canada. They're looking to grow it 15% each year to 2.5 billion by 2025. And then the United States, they've just launched in 2013. It's live in 12 states. So as more and more states obviously legalize gambling and online and gambling, this figure is set to grow. And as you can see here, this is where they're expected to see their biggest compound annual growth rate out of the three different areas of the world. So they launched it in 2013. They're only live in 12 states. You'd expect this to grow pretty decent. They have 75% of the market there already. And 2019 was $3.4 billion. And they're looking to grow this, well, anywhere from $24 billion to $47 billion by 2025. So some of the areas that they are looking to grow in particular over the next 5 years, you can see here there's gaming, social media, property management, and wellness/memberships. So they're looking, the gaming in particular is something that interests me, the gaming and the social media, because you can always see that growing. It has a big audience now, has a young audience now, and this is always going to be there and grow moving forward. So they're involved in the processing of payments. When people make purchases on games such as Fortnite, and then Paysafe's product or Paysafe services are used as part of that transaction. Social media, they're involved in Twitch, Spotify memberships and subscriptions, the same as YouTube. They do property management, property rent, collecting rent, stuff like that, and also memberships to different places. So the gaming and social media in particular are two areas that I think they will see the most growth in. So what they are forecasting is consistent double-digit growth. So you can see in terms of volume first, if we look at volume before revenue, volume from 2018 to 2019, it grew around 12% year on year. And they're estimating from 2020 to 2023, this to increase slightly to 15% compound annual growth rate for their volume. And you can see there where they've split their volume and also their revenue into their three main segments. So their processing, their digital wallets, and their e-cash. And in terms of their organic revenue growth, they're expected to see double-digit growth here as well. So from 2018 to 2019, they saw 13% growth, and they're expected over the next 3 years, from 2020 to 2023, to see a compound annual growth rate of 11%, and this to go in 2023 to around $1.8 billion in revenue. So again, this is very solid revenue growth. It's not huge compared to some of the other SPACs that we've looked at, but the fact that they're profitable at the moment, they're seeing some huge revenue at the moment, and they've got that history of revenue growth, and they're expecting this to continue at a fairly decent rate of around 11%. I think this is a very solid growth stock, especially at the current share price that it is at. So you can see here, since Blackstone acquired the company and took it private, the net revenue has increased from $864 million in 2017 to $1.4 billion in 2019, and that's expected to be $1.5 billion by the end of this year, which gives a compound annual growth rate of 27%, which is great. They've invested over $250 million into key platform upgrades. You can see here as well, which is the main thing which I like about it, that iGaming, and they're currently active in all 12 states, and this is where their total addressable market potential is huge here, and that's where they're expecting the most growth, especially when states start legalizing gambling and online gambling. They should be able to sort of penetrate that market more. So that's just a quick run through of the presentation. There are many slides in there, so I really do recommend that you go and look at the presentation that they've got on their website. There's a lot of detail in there. I just wanted to give you some of the key highlights just to get this video out there, just in case you wanted to potentially do some more research before you invest in this, before the stock price goes up. And we'll talk again now about the stock price. So it's currently sitting just under $12 per share. It will probably open up Tuesday morning between $12.50 and $13 a share. I think if it's under $13 a share when the market opens Tuesday, I am very tempted to start a position in this. Well, the main thing I like about SPACs, and I've said about APXT in particular, is if they're a proven company at the moment with strong fundamentals, and Paysafe are that exactly. They are a profitable company. They see good revenue. They've seen good revenue growth over the last couple of years, and they're forecasting this to continue. The online gambling sector in particular, especially in America, should see some really big growth, and I expect Paysafe to be a big part of that. This is a very strong company at the moment with a couple of years of really good fundamentals, really good revenue growth and profit margins, and they're expecting that to continue, and I expect that to continue as well. So I think if you can get this under $13 when the market opens Tuesday, do your own research first before investing. Don't just take the videos on YouTube as you research. Have a look into this presentation as well. For me personally, if I can get it around $13 or under $13, then I think it's a really solid investment. because more and more people will find out about this stock, I believe. So yeah, so this could grow quite a bit, but the fundamentals are there. First and foremost, the fundamentals of the company are there for a good long-term growth play or growth investment. If you want to perhaps try and swing this, then the hype may come, but if it doesn't come, it's a good solid stock in my opinion to invest in. So yeah, I'll let you know later on in the week whether I do invest into BFT, soon to be merging with Paysafe. Let me know in the comments down below if you're going to invest in this company, where you see this price target moving forward, maybe end of year and maybe in the next sort of 2 to 5 years. I see some good things with this, and that's why I'm interested in this as well. So yeah, I'm probably going to start a position on Tuesday. And then I'll let you know later on in the week what that position is. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you are new around here, hit the subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. And again, thanks for watching and stay safe.